From Westchester, New York via Skype. So let me ask you this, are you going to buy?
No, I don't buy these things. I mean, I'm invested enough in technology because of my job. I suppose if I bought the shares too, I'd be a bad diversification for me.
All right, well then let me ask you about the story then in itself. The day after this goes public and you log into Facebook, what's going to be so different?
Well, if anything, nothing will be different. I mean, in some sense, the minute you go public, the minute you kind of sell your company, then you're kind of set in stone. In some ways, I'm less worried about that what changes than the fact that it might just now stay the same. In other words, this is the formula. This is the way they're going to make money, and their shareholders and investors are going to demand that they keep this up. It's sort of like when a rock group has a big hit, and then the record company says, "Okay, do another one just like that."
Well, and you actually point that out in your column. You say the more money a company takes in, the more it has to play by the, quote, rules of money. And you actually use Google as a good example.
Right. I mean, Google, was kind of wild and crazy, wonderful company started by these Stanford students. And, when you go public, your job then, you have a fiduciary responsibility to your shareholders to show that you are being serious with their money and that you're taking, their returns as your primary concern. So now a kid like Jeff Zuckerberg or Mark Zuckerberg is got to be less concerned with how is Facebook going to change the world and how is Facebook going to return dividends to its shareholders. In Google's case, they stopped talking about, how they give every employee 20% of their time off to go pursue whatever they want to do. Google keeps talking now about how they're focused. They got rid of Google Labs, which was a kind of a fun place for people to go and play with various, projects, all sorts of weird little projects that employees were developing on top of Google's applications. And they're showing that, they're a serious company. They're going to focus on what they do, which is their advertising. And those are, they're real rules. These are the rules of business. And it just seemed to me that, the possibility of the internet and the possibility of these kind of almost self-funded internet companies was to avoid the inexorable pull of the NASDAQ stock exchange.
Well, stay tuned. Zuckerberg definitely won't have as much fun and won't be as free to do what he wants to do. And we'll just have to see what changes do happen. Douglas Rushkoff, thanks so much. I appreciate it.